Is your child showing resistance towards study? And is study hour between you and your child being converted into a battle hour? Hello, everyone. I'm Supriya Raja, and I am the founder of Empower Parenting. And in today's video, I'll be giving you 5 reasons and tips that you can use to help your child study hour much more manageable and more effectively, much more effective. And I have reserved the fifth tip, the best tip, at the end. So ensure that you stay till the end of this video to get the best of this video for the benefit of your child. So if you find that your child is resistant towards study, there could be many reasons. Reason number one is your child is actually not very organized when it comes to studying. That is, a child is either constantly studying whenever there is a test announced, or the child doesn't know when to study, is barely studying, ample amount of time for what is required for each chapter. That is, maybe a child is just skimming through that particular content quickly in 10 minutes and saying, yes, I've done with studying. Or the child doesn't know how to study, and that is studying the whole day one particular chapter. So it's, in this case, it's a more ineffective way of studying, right? Your child doesn't know how to be disciplined and how to study more effectively in within the least number of time. What you could do here is bring a schedule for your child to study. That is maybe half an hour for each subject, half an hour for English, half an hour for Hindi, half an hour for science, whatever the subjects are, right? So ensure that your child is not like studying for the entire day when the test is announced, and then he or she is completely still lost end of the day. So instead, compartmentalize it and just create a timetable for your child to study when a test is announced, so that he or she is knowing that, okay, within half an hour, I got to finish this portions. I'll sit with my mommy or daddy and finish it off. And the next half an hour, I'll get a 5 minutes break, and then I'll go for the next half an hour for the next subject. So there's some kind of discipline and scheduling done for your child. Second reason is probably your child is not, a little tired end of the day and not having enough of energy to study, because a child who is tired and hungry will definitely be very cranky when it is study hour, right? So ensure that your child is well fed, and also, if required, has taken a short nap before the study time. I would definitely insist here is to make the study time easier, is that encourage a child to study that day's portion the month or the week the school has begun. Don't wait for the test to be announced or the exam to be announced to start cramming up for study. It will make studying much more easier for your child and for you. So if that particular day, one or maybe half a lesson in Hindi or in English has been done, you just help your child to practice it or revise it that day itself. Similarly, the same step goes for other subjects as well, because each day not much goes in any school. No teacher covers too much of portions per day. So when a portion is covered or something is covered in a particular day, ensure your child has gone through it that day itself and practiced it, so that when a test is announced, those concepts and those content doesn't appear alien to your child, right? It's like the child is able to make connections. Oh, have read this that particular day. I'm able to understand this and grasp it faster. So ensure that that day's portions is covered that particular day itself. Okay. The next reason that your child may be resistant to studying is that he or she doesn't know how to study, because studying is also skill, and you need to use specific strategies to study. Maybe your child is, reading the entire lesson in one go, and that is pretty overwhelming, right? If there is a small chapter in science and it's about maybe natural and man-made objects, for an example, I'm mentioning this. Maybe a child is reading the entire chapter, and there are a lot of keywords, there are a lot of difficult words which the child may not be able to get it in one shot. Instead, help your child to read the chapter by breaking it down into small portions, maybe one paragraph at a time. So take one paragraph, ask your child what he or she has understood in that paragraph. Maybe you will have to read it. If a child has difficulty in reading, you will have to read it to your child and explain that paragraph. Ask the child what is the difficult words, the meaning of the words, and the key words in each paragraph. Because let me tell you, when it comes to giving grades, teachers are definitely looking at whether the child has put those keywords, the difficult words, and explained adequately to each questions, right? So instead of just cramming up the entire portions, break it down to small chunks, understand each chunk properly, and then go to the next chunk of the particular lesson. Also, you can help your child while reading. You can adopt these particular techniques. That one I said is understanding in small chunks. Second thing is asking your child to paraphrase that particular paragraph, what he or she understood in that paragraph. That will definitely help your child to revise. Okay, this is what I learned in this paragraph. This is what is in this paragraph. So your child can go back and forth to that particular paragraph and understand it deeper. Another technique that you can adopt using studying strategies is trying and making connections. That is, if there are some difficult words, the child can make connection to another word or a text, okay, which the child has heard of, right? Like, for example, if the child is talking about photosynthesis, it appears like a big word. So you can say, okay, photosynthesis is where the leaf, because of the effect of the sunrise, the leaf appears green. Now the child will say, yes, I have seen green leaves in the backyard. I know there are green leaves. I've seen that. And I've seen how the leaves change color. So now their child is actually making connections with what he or she knows, and making connection with one text to a text previously heard or read, right? So this kind of making connections will help your child to understand portions better, whether it's text to text connection or text to some real life connections. Okay, making connections really helps a lot. So you can adopt this while the child is trying to study a particular lesson. The next tip that I would suggest is that don't make academics everything the entire day of your child, right? Because I've noticed parents, they do put children in various classes, but the thing is, either the child's day is crammed with so many hobby classes along with academics. That would be a piano lessons, there's music lessons, there's handwriting classes, there's horse riding classes, so many classes for your child, and at the end of the day your child is just too tired to sit for academic work. Just, I would rather suggest this, go for one hobby class and some time for free play, because free play is essential, for it has its own benefits. And definitely I will be putting up another video just on the benefits of free play, right? So there shall be some time for free play and just one hobby class. It doesn't have to be so many hobby classes just to keep your child engaged, so their child is relaxed and ready when it comes to academic work in the evening. And the last tip, which I'm sure many of you are waiting for, and it is one of the most important tip, is maybe your child is not studying because he or she has a genuine difficulty. That is, your child is not able to read properly, or your child may be having a reading disability, right? So this is a very major problem that many children do face, that they haven't yet developed adequate literacy skills or reading skills to read the content and comprehend the content to be able to study or answer during examination. So what really works here is being proactive. And what does proactive means? Start reading to your child when your child is very young. Even if your child is 4 years or 5 years, you start reading stories and books to your child to expose your child to print, so that your child's literacy skills start developing from that young age. And then when the child enters the primary section, that second grade or third grade, your child is then having adequate skills to learn to not just learn to read, but at that stage your child is reading to learn, because that's what is important. See, up until the grade of third, a child typically learns to read, but after third grade the child is required to be reading to learn. That is, higher order thinking should start functioning. But at that stage, if the child's literacy skills, reading skills, writing skills, spelling skills are not adequate, a lot of the child's mental faculties are going to be drained out trying to decipher and decode what that word is. Forget about comprehending what that passage is and answering the passage to a question. That isn't going to happen if the basic skills aren't developed. So yes, be proactive and start. If your child is still young, start reading from this age itself. And if your child is already in second grade, not to be scared, not to be anxious. Your child is still young, you can start reading to your child, even if your child is now already in second grade or third grade. Start reading to your child and expose your child to reading and print, so that the skills which are very important, not only in school years, but these skills are going to be important even beyond school years, right? Will also enable your child to be a lifelong reader and learner and a leader also. So yes, if you do like this video, please don't forget to press the bell icon, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you get notified each time I post a video. You can also join my VIP Facebook group, which is called the Empowered Parenting Support Group, where I do, come up with a lot of value. I add a lot of value into the group to help parents to deal with, the child's if reading skills, learning skills, or any other issues. So yes, until my next video, you have a great day. All the best. Bye-bye.